Hey Jocelyn, why are you recording this like 30 hours after the game has ended? Good question. We're gonna get into that. Bruins fans, it is not doing it out! Because that is a 3-1 victory over the Ottawa Senators. Welcome back to Into the Net, everybody. So why am I recording this so late? Well, here's a reason. So yesterday was the game. Yesterday was the game that in between the Bruins and the Senators. The Bruins lost two. The Bruins, despite being one of the best teams, despite being the absolute best team in the league, have lost two to the Senators this season. I was in Boston for it. I was not at the game. Instead I was with my friends who just wanted to have a fun time around Boston for on President's Day. Sounds good, right? It turned out to be shit. We went in with absolutely no plan. We didn't know what we were doing, and when we got back, and during it, I had probably the worst anxiety attack of my entire life. Okay, maybe not of my entire life, but still, it was bad. I looked like a freaking ghost. It was so bad that I pretty much could not walk for a good 15 minutes. And when we got back, I was just completely drained. I did not want to do this. So why don't I record it this morning? Well, here's the issue with that. First of all, I have classes. I have class. And this, but why didn't I record it immediately after that class? I 100% felt sick. I had a massive headache. My everything felt hot. I felt my legs felt cold and shaky. It was not fun. So that is why I'm recording it right now at 9:53 in the evening at the day after the game. So, and honestly, what made this even harder was by the time I decided, you know what, I want to actually watch this game and take notes on it. I could not watch it on NHL66.ir, so I was kind of screwed. So this is going off purely the highlights. So we walk into this game, best team in the league against one of the worst. However, this team that is one of the worst has beat us twice this season. But you know what? We have DeBrusk back, and that gives us hope. But also, it has been, even though it's been a while since he has played it, this game was the TD Garden celebration of David Krejci's 1,000th game. And I'm not gonna lie, I thought that Krejci was younger than he was. I also thought that Krejci came up around the same time as Marchand and Sagan, and that because with Marchand and Sagan, their rookie seasons were effectively during the Cup run. I thought that Krejci had come up 1 or 2 years before then. I didn't think that he was a guy who was undrafted in 04 and came up in 06, 07. Did not know that was the case with David Krejci. But regardless, it is his 1,000th game, and it was fantastic. It's been an honor to have him in this team. He has been just such a positive force in the locker room. I know, honestly, the second line. I know last season, it was good. It was great enough to get Pastrnak to 40 goals. It was great enough to get Pastrnak to 40 goals, and somehow squeeze nearly 20 goals out of Eric Haula. The second line this season looks far better. Far better. He is a fantastic playmaker. He's a fantastic force in the locker room. He's a fantastic person to. He seems to be fantastic with the fans. David Krejci is just impeccable. Absolutely immaculate vibes. The best vibes in the entire NHL. But either way, we go into the game. Puck drops, and the Bruins are going pretty hard in the paint on this one. They're letting Ottawa know that they are kind of angry with the fact that they have not been with the fact that they've lost 2 in a row against Ottawa. Which, by the way, I have to say, the 2D Senator logo, I like it a little bit better than 3D Senator logo. I don't know. This one looks like an actual logo. Like this is like this one. Like I know that the other one was an actual logo too, but this one feels like it feels cartoony enough to where you can to where like it wouldn't feel out of place in an actual logo as an actual logo. But about 15 minutes into the game, we see why the Bruins have missed Jake DeBrusk so much. They have needed someone who will follow a shot. Marchand in a corner, mucking it up, trying to get the puck out. Well, fantastic shift from the top line, and he just tries as hard as he can to just get the puck out of the corner. He centers it he gets it out for DeBrusk. DeBrusk shoots it on net. It's saved, and but he doesn't let that stop him. He takes the puck and then he takes the rebound and then immediately chips it up and over to put the Bruins up 1-0. And look, I'm not gonna put too much of this on Kevin Mandolese. Besides, it's his second game up in the majors. This is it, and I'm not gonna lie. I applaud the Senators for actually getting their prospects up here in a timely fashion and actually giving them proper starting time. Like again, that's been one of the biggest problems I've had with the Bruins prospect management. We don't give our best prospects we do not give our best prospects the time they need or the line mates that they deserve to actually shine. It's why Jack Studnicka was such a disappointment. And yeah, I understand that Studnicka's been kind of not great this season so far. In 32 games, he's had 6 points. However, I think it's fair to say that there's a world of difference between Vancouver's top 9 and the Bruins' top 9. I'm not asking that every team be the Bruins from the 70s and score and have like 10 double-digit 20-goal scorers on their roster, but I feel like there's 100% a difference between Vancouver, who is deep in a tank for Connor Bedard or Matvei Michkov or Leo Carlsson or Adam Fantilli, and the Bruins who are making sure that their first round pick is a glorified second. But look, all I'm saying is if we call up Fabian Lysell this season and we do not put him on the top line, if we do not make some sort of change on our right wing to try and accommodate to try and give Fabian Lysell the minutes that he deserves, then it will just cement all of my issues. And look, he can probably thrive well with Coyle at center. I don't trust him to thrive with Noshik at center is the thing. I don't trust him to thrive with Frederick as center. I love Frederick. I don't necessarily trust him to center a line centered around scoring, especially when Lysell is someone who is efficient at scoring. But what about Frederick's multiple double goal lead this season? Double goal games this season. What about them? What about them? Look, I absolutely adore Trent Frederick. Trent Frederick is legitimately the only active Bruins player that I have an autograph from. He is the only active Bruins player that I have a selfie with. I don't necessarily trust that man to center a line whose main goal is to score. Anyway, this is getting really off track. Back to the game. Fast forward to a minute left in the first period, and the Bruins, while trying to clear the puck out of their own zone, get tripped up by Dylan Gambrell. By the way, fantastic play by Gambrell. Fantastic play. He interrupts the puck movement. He steals it. He centers it to Giroux, and Ullmark just can't get to it. Now theoretically, that's a position where I feel like Ullmark could have possibly made a goal, but I'm not really going to put too much on him. It's just a fantastic play by Ottawa on this one, especially during a first period that Ottawa largely won. Ottawa outshot the Bruins, like, at the time of this goal, 12-9. Ottawa had a really good first period. Now, second period, now Bruins get a fantastic shift from the checkmate line. They can't capitalize, but on the other end of the ice, Sprague Kachuk absolutely lays out Hampus Lindholm. Sorry, my leg is really itchy. Sprague Kachuk absolutely lays out freaking Hampus Lindholm. And honestly, it definitely rings as someone who grew up watching the Bruins a lot. He takes the puck, passes it right to Dylan Gambrell, who's up in the middle. Dylan Gambrell probably had the best game of anyone on Ottawa on this game, but Gambrell right up the middle. He loads up for a shot, and Ullmark just nabs it out of thin air. Now, throughout the second period, I'm definitely feeling that the Bruins have. I'm definitely feeling that throughout watching these highlights, the Bruins have definitely felt like they're falling into the same trap as they have been in against Ottawa. This is a bad team, but they're keeping it even, pretty much. Very much a you give a hit, you take a hit type game. Now, after a very good shift by the fourth line and a shift from the top line. Notice I didn't say a very good shift. After a very, very blue collar shift from the bottom line and a weird shift from the top line where they allow a Brady Kachuk breakaway. Thank God Ullmark stones him. We get the 40 milestone again. For the first time in his career, David Pastrnak is a back-to-back 40-goal scorer. Right out the face-off, it goes to the other side of the ice. McAvoy takes it, passes from pretty much the blue line. You know where Pasta is. You already know where he is. You know where he is. You know how he's winding up, and it still goes in. It still goes in. Kevin Mandolisi, welcome to the NHL, my friend. And your prize is being the recipient of David Pastrnak's 40th goal of the season. And look, Jack Edwards is calling the play is just amazing. It's just pure unadulterated joy. It's like 40 goals for David Pastrnak. God, I love Jack Edwards. And one thing that I'm very happy about with this team, with this particular Boston Bruins team, they've cleaned up their act from last season. Remember last season where every time they entered the second period, we were like, "Ah, oh, great. Here's where we just fall apart." I know against one of the worst teams in the league is not exactly a great way to gauge how well our second period is. But oh my God, we seem to have played a really good second period in this one. And honestly, we've regularly been playing really well in the second period these past few games. Into the third period we go, and the Bruins are still rolling. They are still going really, really well in this one. But I don't think Pastrnak is satisfied. No, I think he's fishing for 50. I really, really think that David Pastrnak could get 50 in this season. Honestly, I would not. It would be fantastic, but I don't want to. But I don't want to say that it's like nigh impossible for him to get 60 in this season. I think that David Pastrnak has been playing fantastic. In fact, with 41 goals in 56 games, he is legitimately on pace for 60 goals this season. Like, legitimately, look at this. Look at this. Freaking 60 goals is what he is on pace for. That decimal of like 0.732 is the fraction of 41 divided by 56, if you're wondering. But all that, and I should probably also talk about how he scored this 41st goal. Well, Bruins are mucking it up in their own zone, trying to get it out. McAvoy on the ground. He goes to one knee and spins around, slaps the puck all the way to Pastrnak, who's at like the top of the neutral zone. Pastrnak just turns around and jets it to Kevin Mandolisi, and he looks like he's gonna go do something crazy. What he does is he just puts it on the backhand and just 5-holes him. And like, David, I love you. That's disrespectful. That is disrespectful in the best way possible. Like, you're gonna take this newbie and you're just gonna completely expose the flaws. I mean, hey, it's good. It's a good thing that this is just early in his career, so he can just get it out of the way soon. But at the end of the game, I'm literally begging you. I am begging you, sweetie. Do not make a trade for Vladislav Gavrikov. I do not want to see a trade made for Vladislav Gavrikov. I want to see David Pastrnak extended. I want to see David Pastrnak extended for the next 8 years. Would he be willing to do 7? Maybe. If we get him for 7, I would still be happy. But as it stands right now, we do not have. But as it stands right now, at the end of the season, we have David Pastrnak for 0 years. Honestly, with this Gavrikov thing, I don't even understand. I do not understand why we are trying to make this trade for Gavrikov. Gavrikov is an alright defenseman. That is literally the best thing I can say about him. That Gavrikov is an alright defenseman. He strikes me as a defenseman that if he is ever going to win the Norris Trophy, which he is not, he's not good enough to win the Norris Trophy. But if he were to do it, he would be doing it on the merits of his defensive play, not on the merits of his offensive play. And like, I get that ultimately you want defense. You want a lot of defense. And it's just to make sure that, pucks aren't going into the net. I still don't understand if we're gonna be going to the lengths of trying to make a trade at this deadline, and then get Chychrun. Because if you are shooting for Gavrikov, all you are doing is just making a trade for the sake of making a trade. Gavrikov just isn't very good. He's just not a very good defenseman. And right now, we need a very good defenseman. And I have been saying it for like the longest time. Grzelcyk, Lauko, first round pick for Jakob Chychrun. Who is going to say no to that? Come on. But anyway, Bruins' next game is... What is their next game? Bruins' next game is on Thursday on the road against the Kraken. Oh man, that is going to be a really fun game. That is going to be a really fun game. Y'all better get revenge. Y'all better get revenge for how they just completely embarrassed us on home ice. How they ended our home point streak with a shutout. But either way, that's gonna do it for me. Hope that I feel better soon. Thank you all so much for watching. May we all be black and gold till we're dead and cold. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.